Back in the saddle, looking for a little attention. What's going on, everyone? How long has it been? Has it been a while? Has it been a hiccup?
Are you sick of having issues
I
with
am
your
sick
webinars?
of having issues with my
wasting
webinars.
tons of time
What is
on
going on
troubleshooting
here?
with
Hold
attendees?
on, everyone.
If so, you need
skip
StreamYard
this.
on
What
it.
is going on there? We don't need
Are you
StreamYard.
sick of
You know
having
what?
issues?
Oh
with
my
your
God, what is going on? I got everything going on. You know what, everyone? It's been a while. It's been a hiccup. You know what? I'm back for a little bit. I'm back to. We're gonna do a live stream today or tonight, and we're gonna do another one during the draft. But you know what? I felt it would be nice just to come in and check in with the pulse of everyone. I haven't seen everyone since January. Haven't had a chat since January. Breaking news? No breaking news. No breaking news today. Big Don, what's going on, my friend? No breaking news today. I did a video already with my breaking news. Big Don with the super sticker, because we know what? We love super stickers. Big Don always supporting the kids, and you know what? We're still doing it. Any money that we make from super chats or stickers or everything else goes to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital, because you know what? They need it a hell of a lot more than I do. The Giants might need it. The Giants could need it just to you pay for Daniel Jones. I did a video today because of the fact that I mentioned that I spoke to somebody, and I've talked to him multitudes of times. And I was talking to Rob. Rob, of course, works with Pest, and I've done their show a little bit, and I've done their Twitter Spaces. And I was DMing Rob back and forth that I kept getting information from someone, and I really didn't want to divulge it. But I started giving it to him, and then it started to be true. And I was like, well, you know what? Let me, someone was telling me that they're looking at, Shane wants to get 32 out of this, but 32 average. So that could mean 20, 30, 45. It could mean anything. But they're looking at least a 3-year deal with a potential 4th year as a team option or avoidable year. So he's saying that's where the Giants want to be at. And like I said, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not true. All I'm saying is I find it interesting. It was information given to me by someone that told me the Giants were going to sign James Bradbury. They were going to sign Blake Martinez. It was the same guy that gave me the information that told me that that Leonard Williams wanted Aaron Donald money. So you take it for what it's worth. You take it with a grain of salt. And Big John dropping another super chat for the kids going through a tornado warning in North Texas and still listening. Go Big Blue. Go Tim. Well, you make sure you're in someplace safe. Make sure you're in someplace safe, Don. We need you. We need the Big Don. We got Chris for the MMA coming in. Let's go Big Blue. Much respect to him and respect to the Giants fam. What do we also got here? So I think the Giants will give Jones 2 years, $30 million. No, I think it's going to be 3 years. It's going to have to be at least 3 years. If you look at the salary cap, you look at the way it's constructed. The first year has got to be at a lesser amount just so you could do other things this second season under Shane. Your third year is going to be your money year. It's going to be like the Leonard Williams contract. It's going to be an obscene money in the third year. It's going to be almost like a poison pill, like in the NBA contracts. And it's, I don't know. I still think it's gonna potentially wreck the team. Juan says, "Yo, Big Tim, good to have you back on a live stream." Yeah, we haven't done a live stream since January. January was the last live stream, and like I said, we'll do another live stream. For the draft. We're going to do a draft stream. Everyone asked me to do a live. I got so many requests on Twitter and in the chat to do a live stream. So I was like, all right, I'll jump on the mic. And it was kind of a last minute thing. So that's why I don't even have the green screen up. Got the new camera going on, everything else. So, but he's back. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. What's up, Mr. Reese? How you doing today? Mike Lee says, no money to tag DJ and free agents without eating up future cap. Joe is reluctant. Exhibit A, Logan Ryan. Exhibit B, Kenny G.
Bringing you the smooth sounds of Kenny
Homage
G.
to Kenny G.
72 million.
We have to give
Not worth
our proper respects,
as you can plainly see,
to Kenny G. You're not going to be missed. I don't blame Kenny. I really don't. I really don't blame Kenny. I think it was a bad situation. I think it was a bad fit. I think it was just not the way to. I just don't think it was. I just don't think it was a good circumstance for him. I can't say that he dogged it. He seemed to be a professional's professional. So I mean, I feel you got to feel bad for the guy. Mr. Alvarez dropping in here says, "I'm not giving Daniel Jones a dime. I'm picking up some cheap couple mil quarterback to hold me over till next year's draft, or you could draft a quarterback this year. It's all right. It's okay. You can draft a guy. We'll allow it. It's all good." I'm a little leery of Mr. Richardson, only because of the fact that he's got the potential. He's got the he's only had 17 touchdowns last year in a down year at Florida, which is a passing league. I mean, there's talent there, yeah, but you talk about Malik Willis behind me, it's raw talent. And unless you're going to go with Tyrod Taylor for an extended period of time, I mean, yeah, I think that's the way you're going to have to go. Let's see what Mr. Razzle says. It says the way Shane was talking, he doesn't seem like he's interested in Jones. And also Shane has said they are not close to signing a contract. Shane came out and said the other day that they had to tell Daniel Jones this is nothing personal. Hopefully there's a landing spot for us to come at. And I think that landing spot, like I said, I when this gentleman told me this, I think 32 average over 4, with the 4th year being a team option or avoidable year, makes sense. It makes sense for the Giants, but I don't know if it makes sense for Daniel Jones. Let's see here. I'm not giving a dime. We already did. What's up, Mark? What's up, Mr. Mark? Let's see. Got to spread the money around. I think they give him a 4-year deal. You have to give him a 4-year deal. I mean, preferably you would have to give him a 5-year deal, but the problem is giving him that 5-year deal. It just doesn't. If I've said this a million times before. Oops, what is that? And it's not a slight against Daniel Jones, but if you swing and you miss on this, if you swing and I got to do that. Oh, now I can see. If you swing and miss, you're going to swing and miss big time, and you're going to wreck your contract. You're going to wreck your cap for years to come. So you better be right. You better not. You better, if you're going to go for the fences with him, you better understand what you're going to get and what you could potentially not be getting. What's up, Mark? I just read a comment. It was 2 for 2 from Mark. We got Todd dropping in here. I tried telling people signing him might seem like we lose a guy or two a couple of years from now. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. You got Andrew Thomas's contract coming up. You got Dexter Lawrence's contract coming up. You have the maturing deals right now of Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. By the time you get into the money year for Daniel Jones, you could be in year 3 or 4 for Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau. You're going to already be in the contract year of Andrew Thomas, and you're going to have to worry about Dexter Lawrence. It's not as easy as just saying this is what we're going to do. It's not as easy as just saying that, because of the fact that I've said this a million times before. Head coach looks at the season. The general manager has to look at the season, but he also has to look at 5 years down the road. And the question is, what's Joe Shane's game plan for 5 years down the road? Because you could potentially be going into a second contract with your franchise quarterback, going into his 5th year that you're still not 100% sold on him with. You're still not 100% sold on what he can do, but you're going to pay him like he's Patrick Mahomes. You're going to pay him like he's Aaron Rodgers. You're going to pay him like he's Joe Burrow. You're going to pay, well, Joe Burrow hasn't got paid yet, but you're going to pay him. But the problem is, if you wipe out, you're going to get fired. And I've said this 1,000 times. Coaches, general managers, they want to win with their guys. You win with your guys. If you have someone else's guys and you lose with those guys and you didn't go out and get your own guys, it's your own damn fault. It's no one's fault but your own. It's one of those things that a lot of times you clear locker rooms. It goes back to baseball and basketball. You bring in the head coach, a lot of times you clear the locker room because the fact that you want the guys that are going to fit your system. You have the guys that are going to fit for you. You're trying to in some ways you are taking a square peg and trying to put it in a round hole with Daniel Jones. I've said it before, 15 touchdowns. And people are like, oh, that's 700 yards rushing. Great. I need my quarterback making $40 million to throw the fucking ball. There is a definition of a word. It is called vertical. I don't want to hear, and I've said it, Skip Bayless said it best, if all you do is complain about your offensive line, all you do is complain about your wide receivers, then you do not have a quarterback. There have been plenty of quarterbacks who have had bad offensive lines, who have bad wide receivers, and have excelled. Eli Manning in 2011 had the worst offensive line in the entire league. I thought he was going to die in that game in San Francisco, that playoff game, the way he was getting beat. But he came back and he won the game, and they won a Super Bowl. So, Mr. Alvarez, I already said if the Giants re-sign Jones, it shows he's another corporate stooge. Yes, man, like get a fraud. I don't know about that. I can't say if he is, and I can't say if he's not. It will show that the Maras still have a lot of pull. I don't know. We have the big doing it. You know what? Doing it and doing it and doing it. Yeah. Let's go, Big Blue. Looking good, Tim. Let DJ walk. Get my guy car. Instead, we win the East. My hair's looking good today. Hair's looking good today. It's the camera. The camera's a little low today, though. I'm still trying to figure out this camera here. Let's see. Can I prop it up a little bit here? I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to fuck with it. What's up, Alex Sports? What's going on? What's up, Admiral Mutombo? Knicks are back. Giants are competitive. Don't wake me up. Hopefully the Knicks, the Mets, the Nets. Well, not the Nets. I hate the Nets. Because there's only one team in New York that's basketball. And that, of course, is the Knicks. Let's go, Knicks. Don't wake me up. I'm dreaming. Mike Lee has it. So what does Mike Lee say? There is a law against no, there is no law against trading up. There's no law. I love it because people are like, I still love it because that's the Daniel Jones thing. You know, well, what's the better option? You know, if I have an option between death and taxes, I'm going to find a different option. And it's okay. You're allowed to trade up in the draft. It's all right. It's okay. It's allowed. We haven't, Mike Lee says, 2 for 2 for Mike Lee. We haven't learned from the Leonard Williams contract. I don't think we have. We got the big OG knockout. Says, I wouldn't pay Daniel Jones the bag to keep him, Tim. He's okay. I'd rather have Jared Goff, to be honest. You know what's funny? We did a video where we broke down all the quarterbacks that I would take over Daniel Jones. And I actually said in the beginning of the season I wouldn't take Jared Goff over Daniel Jones. Boy, I was wrong about that one. I was wrong about that one. I watched a lot of film on, with Jared Goff, and I watched a lot of Lions games. I mean, because they were fun games to watch, and I got the dish. But that he's coming to his own. Oh, let's not forget about Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney's contract is up next year. He's on that second round deal. So there is no 5th-year option. Do you think if they give him a 4-year deal, it'll set us back an extra 4 years if Jones comes back? And it would be very depressing. I will tell you this. If they give Jones a 4-year deal and the 4th year is not voidable and he tanks in year 1 and 2 or tanks in year 1, I'm going to tell you this. Joe Shane will be rolling the dice. He'll be rolling them bones big time. Because if they tank in year 1, he goes back to what he was. You've screwed your team. No one's going to take the contract. You're going to have to eat a lot of dead cap space. You're going to have to eat a lot of money. So you better be 100. You better be right. Because there's not a Mahomes feel here. There's not a Rodgers feel here. There's not a Burrows feel here. There's not a Herbert feel here. There's none of that feel here with this quarterback. I think the professional analysis is he could go either way. And that's scary if you're going to sit there and play with a $40 million number, even a $35 million, even a $30 million number. What does OG says? We can't make the same mistake Dallas did with Dak Prescott. You're right. They had to get rid of Dallas has had to move on from some players. Dallas is going to have to make the decision with Pollard and Elliott, and there's a lot, and they had to get rid of Mark Cooper. There's a lot of things going on there. Let's see. Just signed Jacoby Brissett for like $7 million for 1 year, full starting. That was identical to DJ this year. It's a possibility. But that's what you have Tyrod Taylor for, I think, and that's why you gave Tyrod Taylor low end starter money. And if you think about it, then you may want to go to that rookie quarterback. What does Mr. Christopher have to say? Exactly. Down the road, can't do it all in one season. That's the thing. General managers look 5 years down the road. The coach looks at the season. And the general manager has to understand, I need to build and have the longevity of this team, the longevity of this organization in mind, not just what I can give Daniel Jones. That's all it is. What's up, Timothy? Hey, Tim, should the Giants trade up to the Texans number 2 and select Young, 2nd overall from Alabama in the 1st round if they don't re-sign Jones? I would. I like Young and Stroud. I like them both, but I do like Young. I like Young a lot. I've said that a lot. I've said that a big, I don't know how many times. Yeah, but like I said, it's going to cost you, though. It's going to cost you a lot, and I don't think Shane's going to want to give up the assets. What's up, Adam? Everyone has hung up on the salary cap. Shane is building the team through the draft, not free agency. Yes, but the problem is you still have to augment your roster with free agency. There's no way around that. I mean, you build the team. Anyone will tell you, George Young will be the first one to tell you since when he took over the Giants back in 78, you build the team through the draft. 1,000%, but you need to augment what you have going on with via free agency. Did you hear they met with Richardson? Yes, I did hear they met with Richardson, Mr. Harris. I did hear that. Richardson's been around for, off and on for the Giants for a while. He's been on that radar. That's another swing. Is AR? That's another swing. That's another big swing that you have to be right about. Unless you get him at 26. I still say you get Hooker early in the second. Maybe you move up from your current spot in the second, use one of your third round draft choices and move up a little bit and pick up someone like Hooker. Yes, everyone's like, he's 25 years old, blah, 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 blah. You know what? But to my mind is he's not a Brandon Whedon. He's not a Chris Wenke. He's physically matured at 25. I think he's a guy that can come in and start, maybe even the first year. So, and they're already saying that he's going to be back and ready for training camp. Let's see. Cooper Rush had 15 touchdowns. He did. I've heard a lot about that he has had 15 touchdowns. What's going on, my friend? Everything is good. Everything's great. Everything's going dandy. Adam says, can you name these quarterbacks who excelled with no wide receivers and no offensive line? I just gave you Eli Manning. I just literally gave you Eli Manning right off the top of my head. You also have to go back to when Atlanta went to the Super Bowl. With Chris Chandler also, if you want to get deep into that. I actually did a video about it and I rattled off like 20 guys. So go back and watch the video. I'm not going to go through all this right now because we got a lot of comments. You know what? Because I missed everybody. Logic's finest is going on, my friend. The Giants need a 3-4 offensive line, 2-3 defensive linemen, and a secondary that can stop good offenses. Oh, and he hasn't gotten to the receivers, tight ends, running back, sign Jones or build. You got to build. You have to build. And that's the thing. You know what? You use a non-transition tag. Excuse me. You use a non-exclusive tag. Problem is you tie up $32 million in cap space. If he wants to work out of a deal, and I think someone's dumb enough to give you 2 first-round draft choices for Daniel Jones, then you let him go on his way. Sorry. I've never seen a quarterback throw for 3,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. Yes, you're running for 700 yards. The video today, Phil Simms, 93, 3,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. I think 8 interceptions, 11-5 Giant team. And in an era where you could go mug the wide receiver, go to his house, kick his dog, steal money off his dresser, key his car, date his wife, and then come back, and they still wouldn't call a flag. And Phil Simms made the Pro Bowl that year. But it's almost an identical season to Daniel Jones, except for the rushing yards. And I'm sorry, I want my quarterback to throw the ball. I know, I'm like one of these a-holes. You want your quarterback to throw the ball? What the hell's wrong with you? I'd trade the house for CJ Stroud. I don't think you can. Because as Logic's finally put it, there's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of empty spaces. There's a lot that he's got 20 free agents he's got to look at. He's got some building blocks. I am very concerned about the linebackers still. I think you're going to need at least 2 inside linebackers, a minimum of 1 outside linebacker who understands how to work with the defensive end and maintain his edge, maintain the edge and maintain his assignments. So you're not going to get gashed off tackle so many times. You're going to need a CB2. If you let Love walk, you're going to need a strong safety. You're going to need at least 2 interior linemen. You're going to have to upgrade your wide receiver position. You need an upgrade. I like Bellinger, but you're going to need an upgrade at the tight end because you need someone that's got a little bit more oomph to it, like an Evan Ingram. You may even need a running back. What are your thoughts if he trades back? I could see Shane trading back. Unless there's a quarterback, unless there's a player that he really wants, I can see Shane trading back and building assets. I could see that. Headlines will read tag sale. I like that, Hirsch. What's up, Big L? Big L says, what do you mean there's other options? Hell, what are we? Hell yeah, we do. There's always options. There is an A. Brown feeling. You're right. Mr. Alvarez also has come back and said, speaking of contract, if they franchise Saquon, do you think they still draft a running back? I think if you franchise Saquon, he made 8 last year, he'd make 12.1. If he signs his tag, you could probably look for a running back later in the later half of the draft. because more than likely he won't be back next year because you're not then going to give a 26, 27-year-old running back an extension. So you're probably going to have to. Todd says, Dallas just fold and make the world a better place. They should. What's up, Frank? My brother, Tim. How much influence does Mara have on the contract situations for number 8? I don't know. He had a lot of influence on the Eli Manning stuff. So I don't know. But I'm thinking that if he has that same affinity that he had for Eli Manning, everyone admits, and like I said, Eli Manning, Phil Simms, Lawrence Taylor, Harry Carson, those are some of my favorite Giants. Mark Bavaro, some of my favorite Giants of all time. And Eli stayed too long at the party, and they made a mistake by giving him that big contract. They did. That's that third big contract. They made a mistake. Actually, it'd be the second big contract because he had the rookie deal, he had the contract, he had the contract after that, and they had another contract after that. And they paid him though off his 2 Super Bowls. You're talking about paying a kid high-end money for one season when Eli Manning got paid that last year off of winning 2 Super Bowls. It's just kind of interesting. Adam says Dallas had to get rid of one guy. Dallas got rid of a lot of other guys, Adam. I don't want to break the news to you. Oh my God. Let's see here. If you give DJ a 4-year deal, we'll be the worst team in the NFC because Washington is going to get a quarterback. Plus, Daniel Jones hasn't proven he can beat the Cowboys. He hasn't proved he can beat the Eagles. Daniel Jones played the 31st ranked defense in Minnesota. That team, that Vikings team was tailor-made for the Giants, which showed that game during the season. He was tailor-made. So you beat the 31st ranked team. You go against the best defense, one of the best defenses in the league, and you get killed. What does that tell you? We got a super chat from the Zach Attack. Do you think DJ has priced himself out of New York? I don't know how unreal. Right now, no. This has got to be done by the time legal tampering starts on the 13th of this March 13th. This has to be done. This either has to be done that he has signed a contract, that he is franchise tagged, or the Giants are just moving on. It has to be done by the 13th. You cannot go into free agency with this over your head, wondering what's going to go on, because then you don't have a plan for free agency. Then you don't have a plan for Saquon Barkley. Then you don't have, I assume they do have a plan. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying it's going to make this more difficult if you then have to figure out that you're looking for your quarterback. I think they already have a plan. I mean, of course the Giants have a plan. Eli did not have Adam. You know what, Adam? Go away. Adam, go away. Put in timeout for Adam. That praise.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Of course, Adam just got wonked because I'm tired of stupidity. I can't deal with stupidity. That was the one thing I don't miss about live shows. I miss seeing everybody. That's one hell of an option. Let's see here. Dallas should just fall. Tim, my brother, Hurst for real says, thoughts on tank with Tyrod to get Caleb Williams. You would really have to tank, and there's no guarantee you're going to get him. That's my only problem. Is there a guarantee that you're going to get the kid? I don't know. Like I said, I worry about that. Mr. Roberts says, at this rate, I would pluck Jordan Taylor from the XFL. The way he plays, his team is very similar to how Jones played this year. You know what's funny? I really enjoyed the XFL. I'm actually very excited for the USFL again. So I enjoyed the USFL games a little bit too. I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed the USFL. Todd says, the problem is you're always going to have draftees that flop. It's not like they all work out. I think that's the biggest problem with Daniel Jones fans. Daniel Jones fans think that it's a slight against them if he fails. And the likelihood is the fact that you're probably going to fail more on picking a quarterback. It's like my video in reference when I talked about racism in the Giants and the NFL and the black quarterback. From 79 when they drafted Phil Simms, that 44-year period, people forget 30 of those 44 years were manned by Phil Simms and a few other people while he was still on teams, and Eli Manning. We got spoiled the fact that we had a quarterback that played for 14 years, another one played for 16 years. We got spoiled. And that always doesn't happen. Look at the Jets. Look at all these other teams. So you're going to fail sometimes, and it's okay to fail. It's okay to get things wrong. It's all right. It happens. It's called life. OG says just trade for Justin Fields. The Bears would be smart to actually keep Justin Fields and just trade that pick because they're going to get a hell of a lot more for that pick than they are going to get for Justin Fields. Bob Stanley says wait until DJ is back on a 4-year, $200 million guarantee. Then the haters like you will eat crow. Oh, Bobby, did we offend you? I'm so sorry, Bobby. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's okay. People are idiots. Years and average salary for Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas. Dexter, you're probably going to give 4. Andrew Thomas, you're going to give 5. I don't know because, like I said, the marketplace is going to change so much. Todd has to say, has anyone ever given the 2 firsts to get a tagged player? Zach Attack, look that up. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure. I can't think about that. I liked Shane said the defensive depth is bad, which it is. Dexter and Lee's play too much. The Giants actually played better when
King of the almost sack
went out of the game a bunch of times. DJ Davidson, I do think they're gonna need something. They're gonna need somebody. Mike Lee says, "What linebackers? We let one walk. Well, you can't fault him for the Blake Martinez thing. Blake Martinez bounced around, there was 11 tackles with the Raiders, and they retired. So I think he was just done. What does Alex Sports have to say? How can we trade up to get into quarterback position? Although we need a corner linebacker over from you guys." There's a lot to look at. I think, like I said, we're going to trust in Shane. We're going to trust in the Dable. Let's see. What's up, Tim? I'm starting to think it's better we go let go of Saquon and Jones and could possibly get corner. You know what's fun? Here's my thing. I'm still tagging Saquon. I'm riding the Saquon train one more year. Just one more year I'm riding the Saquon train. Because of the fact you're only going from 8 to 10.1. It's not that big of a raise. And if he's willing to accept the tag, you could do well. I already got that one. Oh, what's up, Mr. Damian Jackson? Thank you for the super chat. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. I don't understand this DJ Lev. Didn't we all want him gone 2 years ago? He didn't get much better after that. You know what's funny? And this is what I say, Mr. Jackson. I find this is what I ask every DJ fan. This is what I ask them. And no one can ever really give me an answer. If the Giants went and only won 6 games last year, and DJ had the same statistics, would you keep Daniel Jones? And I love it because anytime I bring this up and I ask this question, the first thing they always want to talk about before I ask this question is Daniel Jones's numbers, his numbers. And then I say, okay, well, every time you have and anytime I use a statistic to disprove their statistics, they always say, well, there's more to Daniel Jones than just numbers. And then when I say to them, okay, well, they won 9 games. Well, look at his numbers. Look at this. I say, okay, if he only won 6 and had the exact same numbers, would you keep him? And that's when they all say, it's not just about the numbers. It's like, you just told me a minute ago what it was. Which one is? You can't have it both ways. You can't look at it and go statistically is this, statistically is that, but then tell me it's not statistics because they don't fit your narrative. Great balls of fire. Let's see here. Alex Sports says, what is Alex Sports says? Jones should get a deal worth $30 million. That's really absurd based off of one season. It's like the Knicks and Jerome James. Knicks gave him a boatload of money. And we saw what happened with him. You can't just pay off someone for 1 year. ECK Sports says, sadly, the Cowboys own us, and it sucks. The Cowboys own us. Eagles own us. And technically Washington a little bit as well. Mike Lee also says, and the Vikings game was in a dome, perfect conditions. Yep, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. What does Big L have to say? Where's my water? What's Shane walk-away price from Jones? $4. I think it's anything over that 32 million average. I really do. What is that? What movie is that from? I can't remember. You got to be more specific. Oh, the Wonka? That was from Willy Wonka.
Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here. Not up in here.
Well, not that one.
get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Oh, here we go. G Knockout, Doug Flutie, Archie Manning, Dan Marino, Trent Tilford. They all had great results. What's up, Daniel? What's going on? Willy Wonka dropping in the finest. Okay, thank you. I'm a little behind here. I'm always behind. Jay says a lot of people are scared to be wrong. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. It happens. People say I'm wrong about this guy. This guy right here, Mr. Malik Willis. And I love it because everyone likes to point it out. Well, you're the guy that said Malik Willis was this. You're the guy that said this about Malik Willis. No one ever wants to talk about the other 1,000 things I got right. They all want to, the 999 things I got right, they don't want to mention. But the one thing I got wrong, and I don't think I got it wrong because you can't judge a career for 3 games. Because if you did that, Daniel Jones shouldn't be in the league. It happens. It happens. People are wrong. But if you want to take glee in that because you are so down in your own life and your own existence, be my guest. I don't care. Have a beer. Don't cost nothing. Todd says, spoiled in the sense because we had Collins after he had tained up 2 other teams. Yeah, we also had Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins was a good stretch. I always forget about Kerry Collins. People can still get mad at me with the Kerry Collins thing. I did an early live stream. I've told the story before, but I'm going to tell it again because I want to tell it. I did an early live stream and I said that I didn't like Kerry Collins because he was a quitter. And if someone says, why is he quit? Because he gave up drinking. And no one likes a quitter. Hey-o. Did you miss me? Mike Lee says it's not DJ's fault. He got picked 6. That person has already been dealt with. It's not his fault that he got picked 6. I don't blame Daniel Jones. I don't blame Daniel Jones for anything. I really don't. And people think it's like a personal slight because you don't like Daniel Jones. I don't dislike Daniel Jones as a person. I dislike Daniel Jones as a quarterback. And that's all I've been watching because I've been watching sports football since 76. And you could see, and I always say this, what quarterback in year 5 outside of the 80s where the 70s and 80s where they use 70s and 80s when you draft a quarterback in the first round, sometimes that guy sat for 4 years before he even sniffed the field. Outside of that, and I love the people that pointed people out, and I did a video about it, and people were pointing them out, and I had a rebuttal for every one that they mentioned. There's really no quarterback outside of maybe Tommy Maddox who had 1 season in like year 8 and then fell off the bus again. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Chris says, I would be the Full Metal Jacket sergeant from the commercial as a shrink. People are soft. Good metal. Good song. Good movie, Full Metal Jacket. Good movie. What movie did I watch the other day? I watched The Mandalorian the other day. That was good. Big L says, no one has been dumb enough to give up 2 first-round picks. I couldn't think of anyone that gave up 2 first-round picks. I could have been wrong. OG says, to be honest, Phil Simms didn't have great wide receivers as well. I'm sick of all the excuses for Daniel Jones. Bobby Johnson, Lionel Emmanuel, Tom Mulledy, Dan Hasselback. These are some of the wide receivers. Stephen Baker. What's his name? Mark Ingram. Byron Williams. These are some of the wide receivers that Phil Simms had. Ernest Gray. These are the players that Phil Simms had as wide receiver. And Phil Simms is the first quarterback in Giant history to throw for over 4,000 yards. Do I see it? Do I see it? Do I see it? Wait, I see it. I see it. I see it. Because you want to know what? We have a 2-ton super chat. Massive salute and respect to the big boss, Tim, all the Dire Giants fans and the chat. Greetings from our entire rugby team in Italy. F all the Eagle losers. What's up, my friend? How you doing, Tuto? It's all good. What do we got here? It's all good, Tuto. I haven't seen you well. Tuto's been in the chat for a little bit. I haven't seen him, though. I've seen him in a little bit. Christopher says, I wouldn't be upset if we took a solid corner round 1 and a wide receiver in round 2. Depends on who's there. It's funny. People always ask me, who do you want to draft? Who do you want to draft? When are you doing a mock draft? I always love that. When are you doing a mock draft? How can you do a mock draft before free agency? How can you do a mock draft before you sign your quarterback or your wide receiver or your running back or anyone? How the hell can you do a mock draft? a mock draft is speculation anyways, and you're guessing anyways. I like that view because the hair looks good. Little Iceman going on here. You're guessing anyways, but how can you round out a roster if you don't know who you signed in free agency? I just love when I see the mock draft videos. It's like, you know what? Maybe if you had talent to do something else besides a mock draft, you would do it. Great balls of fire. He did get better. Oh, well, ECK going from bad to okay is not getting better. No one has given up 2 first-round picks. I didn't think so. What does Mr. Harris have to say here? Shane and Dable have a lot of capital after last season. Now it's time to make the big move up in the draft. Tag DJ, draft a quarterback, then trade Jones to Washington. Well, first of all, I know you're joking. You're being sarcastic. I know that. Because you never trade within your division. You know what's funny? Yeah, I've said that a million times. The Giants have built up a lot of capital. Shane and Dable have built up a lot of capital with their fan base. The problem is you could lose that capital quickly if you go 0-6 next year. It's always, what have you done for me now? What have you done for me recently? It's not what you did. It's not what you did. I always do and I don't know. I can't. You know what the problem is? I can't see my soundboard because I have the damn microphone. I have the damn thing covering up here. I can't see it. I love this one now. I have to do this one new too.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Sorry. I was gonna go to my Crash Davis sound effect, but I can't see the soundboard. Let's see here. What's up? We got another super chat coming in from the Zach Attack. All super chats going to Philadelphia Children's Hospital. If Tyrod was a starter and DJ's number of people would have want him gone. Since people love stats, look at the total stats which DJ has, which tells the story. It does. And if you take a look at the comparison of his stats from Tyrod Taylor's in 2017, it's eerily similar. And they moved on from Tyrod Taylor, traded up and got Josh Allen. We all know DJ isn't a franchise quarterback. Let's see here. What do we got here? What's up, Frank? On the way you look tonight. Woohoo! It's the hooker train. Come on, ride the train. It's the hooker train. What's up, Frank? Guess what's going on, my friend? Mike Lee has to say, Willis is not a pocket passer. Titan try to fit a square peg in a round hole. If Mills and Dable team up, his stats would be 6. You know what? I know people that are in the Tennessee area. Willis was a pick of the old general manager, and he's not a Vrabel guy. Vrabel doesn't know what to do with a quarterback like a Malik Willis. And so I think Willis, if he's going to succeed, he's probably going to move out of Tennessee, or they're going to have to wait till Vrabel gets fired. Todd Taylor, what does Todd Taylor have to say here? Jones can't be evaluated and move on after 4 years, but Willis is a scrub after 1. That's logical. Willis is a scrub after 4 games. 4 games. 3 or 4 games. Was it 3 games or 4 games? I don't remember. It's all right. You know what? People get stuff wrong, but I think Malik is going to be fine. I think Willis would be better if he played to his strengths. Bears tried to do the same thing and finally gave him to Justin Fields. That's really a great point. And I think that's what they did with Daniel Jones. They played to Daniel Jones' strength, which is short passes, 14 completed behind the line game, have designed runs for him, and make sure you do a play action rollout. Give him one option. The second option is the run. It's boring. It's bland. It's vanilla. Ice, baby.
Stop, collaborate, and listen. Ace is back with a brand new invention. Something. Grab a hold of me tightly.
Sorry, I could do that whole rap. But right, I agree. And I think that's what you need to do with a quarterback. You need to play to their strengths. Y'all know Daniel Jones isn't a franchise quarterback. OG Knockout says, I agree. Frank S. says, a sober moment. I don't like Jones as well, but back to the vodka. Belvedere, straight up, chilled, in a martini glass. That used to be the drink of choice. Phil McConkey from Navy. Let's see. ECK says $30 million for Jones is market value. For instance, 25 to 20 is worth a lot more today because the cap. This whole stupidity about, and I'm not yelling at you, ECK. The whole stupidity of the cap going up every year. I hear this argument, and it's one of the stupidest arguments that I've ever heard. The cap's going up every year. So do taxes. And the fact is, if the cap goes up every year, every other player on the team is going to want more money, or you're going to have to start dictating to the market value. So just because you're dictating to the market value does not mean you go out and overspend on something. Good example. I had a car. Got a brand new car. Driving down the boulevard. Turned the corner because I want to be chilling hard. Had a car. Went out and bought a car. German luxury car. Had it for 6 months. Hated it. Couldn't stand it. And I wanted a new car. So I went out and I was going to go get a Jeep. Now, all these car dealers, about 8 months ago, were putting up, destination charges and all these other charges, $5,000 extra, $6,000 extra. No, I wasn't going to pay that extra just because that's what the market value dictated. Because the market's changed, the markets fluctuate. So I waited and I found a car that I liked, Jeep that I liked, that I went out and got it, and I got it for the deal that I wanted to pay. I didn't give money away to someone just because the market dictates that this is what you should pay. What do we got here? We got another Tuto super chat. Do you want me on that wall? I have that sound effect. Hold on. Hold on, wait a minute. I can find it. I have to go like this. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Just for you, Tuto. I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Wait. Here we go.
You don't want the truth because deep down
Found
in
it.
places you don't talk about at parties. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Just for the Tuto. Dropping the big super chat for the kids. Let her keep the kids, Frank. That's just my opinion. No, I'm not yelling at you, ECK. I just get mad when I see that. I'm not yelling at you. It's nothing but love. Big L. Big L changed his name. You could put whatever you want, but you're always Big L. How many Super Bowls did Brady win in New England with no name wide receivers? I believe it was 3. You're right. ECK says, I'm giving DJ 30 to 40, 30 to 35, but 44 is absurd. 30 to 35 is absurd for one good season. If Daniel Jones is worth $45 million, I'm worth at least 17. Because I think I can complete at least 7 passes behind the line of scrimmage. Mike Lee says, Tim will do a mock the day before the draft. I think I did that last year. I think last year I did the mock draft like 2 days before the draft. I don't know what you're laughing about. I think I did that. My CK says, that's why I always say mock drafts before free agent doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Let's see here. Has the Georgia D-line been arrested yet? He went to his court date. And you know what? He went to his court date, man. What did I say to James Williams about that today? I was texting James and I said, James is like, you said something that was really smart. Well, that's something new. What did I tell James? I told James because he went to his court, then he went back to the combine. I says, if you can play, then you don't have to pay. And that's what I'm gonna say. If you can play, then you don't have to pay. And that's the truth about the NFL. It's the truth about any sports. What does Jay say? Jay says, if you know a car is worth $1,500, but you still want $5,000, you would still pay for the car or look for something else. I'd look for something else. Why? Why would I overpay? Draft a quarterback and sign OBJ, says Michael. Someone else told me that the other day. Chris says, don't trade in your division. What about Hawkinson? That was just crazy. I don't know why they did that. Detroit was nuts. Tim Tebow was better than Daniel Jones, and he's not in the league anymore. Shake him. Well, I'm not gonna go that crazy. I'm not gonna go that. I'm not going that nuts, dude. Don't you know when you're live? Don't you know when you're live streaming anymore? I will not be ignored. It is time for the bunny in the pot. I will not be ignored, Joel. No, I don't know when I'm live streaming anymore. Long story short, someone else owns OBB. I kind of just work here now. So, you get told that you can do things and you can't do things, but I don't listen to people. So I don't listen to people. So I do whatever the hell I want to do. So people are like, you can't live stream. Well, fuck that. I'm going to live stream. ECK says, if we tag DJ, Washington gives us 2 first-round picks and pay you $45 million, I bet. Well, if Dan Schneider is still in charge, I think so. Glenn says, no problem with anything done once DJ leaves. I'm fine. Like I said, I'm not going to complain if he stays or he goes. Should I stay or should I go? ECK says maybe Willis should get traded to the Giants. He shouldn't cost that much. I'd send out a 6th-round, 7th-round pick for for Malik. I'd do that. I do that. Edward Jones says if Daniel Jones gets cut, he's going to XFL or USFL. Hey-oh. Oh, yeah, I think you're probably right. Mike Lee says, yes, but you didn't say, yes, but didn't they do that in the Judge era as well? Difference is a healthy Barkley. You're right. You're not, I mean, that's 100% right. Would Carolina be interested in Daniel Jones? I'm going to say no. You already bombed out with Sam Darnold. You bombed out with Baker Mayfield. I think they're going to want to find their own quarterback. They want to find their own face of the franchise. There are not a lot of teams. There are a lot of quarterback needy teams right now. There really are. But are there a lot of teams that would be interested in signing Daniel Jones at that price? No. Are there a lot of teams that are going to be willing to give up 2 first-round picks for that price for Daniel Jones? No. Giants are competing in a market at times against themselves. That's what the Knicks do. What they used to do. Let's see here. How about an incentive-laced contract for Daniel Jones? I would agree to that. I don't think Daniel Jones would, because he would not have switched. He would not have left CAA for athletes first unless he was not getting what he thought he could get out of CAA. CAA is not a small agency. They're a huge international agency that handles everything from movie stars to models to actresses to musicians to everything else. So they are huge. So you would not leave them unless you weren't getting you weren't feeling that it was satisfactory what they're trying to get for you or what they're telling you what the market value is. That's why you go to a different agent. So I don't think you would ever even consider that. This isn't Madden. What's up, Zach? Giants clown. We have so many holes to fill. Can't overpay for Jones. By the way, love the huge Georgia tight end, Washington. You're right. The question is, how much salary cap are you going to designate for your quarterback for the next 4 years? 15%, 16%, 17%? Where you have so many other holes and so many other deficiencies in other places that you could potentially, I do think the Giants are going to be like the 2018 Buffalo Bills. I do think they're going to take a step back next year because of the fact that you're going to have a harder schedule. You're not going to get all the breaks you got last year. And I think Shane understands that. And I think Shane is saying it's an aberration because without that 6-1 start, your finish was terrible. I mean, you won 3 games after that. So, I mean, it depends. It's half a dozen one or half a dozen one another. Orlando says, if Daniel Jones gets tagged, his agent will test the market and he'll be gone. If Shane doesn't budge and ends up tagging him, he isn't going to match whatever DJ gets in the open market. I agree. And I think that is going to be the logic of this story. And I think Shane is playing smart. I think he is. I've said it I said it a couple videos back. Is Shane playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers? And I think that's where we're gonna have to give him the benefit of the doubt. What's up? What's up, man from the Masculine Alpha Network? What up, Tim? Give him $1 million. You've reached touchdown passes and special quarterbacks makes the team better. You're right. You're right. I mean, you're right. You're 100% right. If you're going to pay your quarterback that much money, he's gonna have to make the team better. He's got to make the people around him better. What's up, David? Remember when all the Jones panty boys were saying Evan Ingram was a bum? Magically, as soon as he left Jones, he became good again. Yeah, I know. And I worry about the smooth sounds of Kenny G that the same thing's gonna happen to him. That he's going to go somewhere and all of a sudden find it all. Golden Tate was from Notre Dame, the poster boy, the consummate professional, the teammate, the one that everyone loved. He comes to New York, plays with Daniel Jones. He can't catch the ball anymore. Can't get separation. And everyone's mad at him because he's yelling at Daniel Jones after catching that touchdown. Throw me the damn ball. See, I told you. No, you had wide receivers yelling at Daniel Jones on the sideline this year, and they said 2 years ago, and he was, he's like, no, he wasn't. He was yelling at Jason Garrett. He wasn't yelling at Daniel Jones. What does Glenn have to say here? We can get a good quarterback at 25 or trade for one. Team doesn't. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay your quarterback. You don't have to pay because, like I said, you have to be 100%. You're Joe Shane. You have to be 100% sure about this. You do. You have to be. There can be no gray area, because if Daniel Jones fails, if Daniel Jones gets hurt, you have wrecked your franchise for the next 4 years, and you're probably going to be out of a job. So, and that's why I'm saying, I know Shane is taking this very seriously either way, because he knows this is, in some ways, this is his legacy. And I've said it a million times. General managers and coaches want to win with their guys. There's always Parcells guys, Vince Lombardi guys, Tom Thibodeau guys, and you want to win with those guys. You don't want to win with someone else, because more than likely you're going to lose with someone else's. So if DJ plays a couple better options, wide receiver position, puts up 4,500 yards in total, you'll be unhappy. No, why would I be unhappy? Go away. You know what? I was going to give you a chance. I'm going to put you in timeout, because when you say something stupid, then you automatically go back into timeout. Because I hate stupid people. I really do. I can't. There's one thing that bugs the hell out of me, and it's disrespectful, stupid people. That bugs the hell out of me. And that's like people that were saying that when we do on the mic segment. And a lot of these people are coming on the show and they're doing the on the mic. And you know what? You got 10 minutes to say and talk about whatever you want. And I hate when the keyboard warriors, blast the people that are doing the on the mic segment. And all I have to say to those people is this: man up. Suck it up, Buttercup. You think you're so fucking awesome? Come on and do the show. At least these people had the balls to do it. All you have the balls to do is sit on your keyboard and type. So, in long story short, shut up. Mike Lee says, regardless of what happens to Jackson, do you think Barroso will try for a Watson deal? Fully guaranteed. Don't think Jackson will get it if it is truly Jackson's goal. I don't know what's going on with Jackson. I'd take him. I think he deserves a big deal. Jackson does. Lamar Jackson does. I think he does deserve it. But I can't, I don't know, to be honest. Well, we're talking Giants, Mike. Come on here. Frank Sounds of Sinatra says, I'll say it again. Cut Barkley, tag Jones, draft Hooker, let him sit here. ACL needs 2 years to heal. You're right. You're not wrong about that. I've said that a million times. You need a minimum 2 years to heal. Mr. Jackson dropping there said, people who talk about paying DJ $30 million because market value have never run a business before. That's a great point. I've been in charge I've been in corporate America, and I've worked where I was in charge of multi-million-dollar things and deals and things, and you pay the price, but you don't overpay the price, because then you're going to devalue your place in the market, and you just don't always pay market value. You always want to pay under market value, especially if you own a business. Good point. Good point, Mr. Jackson. Derek Ramirez, what's going on, my friend? To play devil advocate, you can say this last season with Jones was an outlier due to his horrendous years under Judge, but can you really see him decline to the level again under Dable? If his decision-making process does not improve, yes, because I can think of at least 8 to 9 interceptions that were either dropped are called back via penalty, and some fumbles too. So the Giants just had a season where the ball bounced their way. It happens. You have those years in sports. You have those years. I remember playing basketball, and I remember having a game where I couldn't miss. I mean, I could close my eyes and throw the ball up, and it would just fall in. It just go through the hoop. That wasn't me though. I'm an inside scorer, but I was hitting everything from 3, everything for 12, 14 feet. But that wasn't me. And then when I reached the point where I had to, the next game was like, well, couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. What does Zach says? Tim will do a mock draft an hour before the mock draft. Hey-o. You're probably right. I think Mike Lee was right. I think I did my mock draft 2 days before the mock draft, before the draft itself. What's it? Giants Clown says, will we ever get to the point where the quarterback salary doesn't count against the cap? No, you're gonna have to redo the entire salary cap to have that. to do that, and they're not going to do that. Let's see. OG says college careers and NFL careers. Tim Tebow was better. They were both one-read quarterbacks, but Tebow had the type of hype around him as college. Well, Tim Tebow was something special in college. He wasn't anything special in pros. I thought after that first season when he was under McDaniel, he actually had a couple 300-yard games. I think his rookie season towards the end of the season. Tim Tebow is just Tim Tebow. He needs to hire Logic's fine says he needs to hire Jerry Maguire. I think Jerry Maguire is busy right now. I think I make it Jerry Maguire too. Jason says for some reason I can see the Falcons wanting Daniel Jones. What's funny because the Falcons, if you take a look at Marcus Mariota's salary and you take a look at his production, it's almost eerily similar to Daniel Jones. So you might not be right. You might not be wrong. Let's see. Frankie says, not a guy whose best season is for 9 wins. You can't do it. What's up, J Ham? How you doing, my brother? I haven't seen you in a while. What do we got here? There are not a lot of quarterback needy teams that are a Daniel Jones away from the Super Bowl. That's a good one. What do we got here? Giants Clown says, gun to your head, will the Giants have a new starting quarterback in 2023? I'm going to say yes. Ooh, Tim said yes. Logic's mine. It says Duke isn't the problem. Lack of talent is the problem. Walter Payton went to the HBCU, and he was one of the best ever. It's not the school. Jones isn't the guy. There's plenty of small school. What's Steve McNair went to Acorn State. Acorn State. How many elite quarterbacks come out of Acorn State? Mr. Albert says Jones needs to learn his lesson about his value and learn the hard way, which is identical to his Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, I keep seeing the Mitchell Trubisky comparisons. I keep seeing that. And, I never looked at the stats before, but when I saw them, I think I saw them on, I think Mr. Authentic put it up on his Twitter page. I think I saw it there. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God. Same amount of wins, same amount of playoff wins, almost same yardage. And Mitchell Trubisky was a bum. Alcorn State, yeah. Alcorn State, Acorn State. I call it Acorn State. Oh my God. Let's see here. Hit that like. Oh, you know what? I've been telling people to do it. Hit the like button, guys. I'm not doing it on a live stream until the draft. Until I do my mock draft the day before the draft. Let's see. DJ is the anti-Eli Manning. Todd Taylor has to say, I think New York pressure got to Ingram and Kenny G. They all had the yips. I don't think it was that. What about Golden Tate? Golden Tate played at Notre Dame. Golden Tate won a Super Bowl. What happened to hits? Doing it. L says, hit the likes. 1000% from the J-Ham. Mr. Harris has to say, do you think they will let Jones walk? I don't believe they like Jones. I think that they will probably. I personally think they should move on from Jones. I'm going to tell you right now that if they sign Jones to any type of contract, my video is going to be the contract that wrecked the franchise. You can look for that. You can look for that video the same day. I just think it just doesn't make sense with everything that you need. You're not. And who said it a minute ago? There are not a lot of teams that are Daniel Jones away from the Super Bowl. And the Giants are one of them. Todd says there's something no one wants to talk about. DJ runs. Last year he was the first time he played all the games, sort of. And that's the other thing too. He can get hurt again. You don't know. Let's see here. Never liked Davy Jones. Only 9 wins and made an appearance on the Brady Bunch. Yes, because he was in the Marsha Brady fan club. She was president. Girl,
look what you've done to me and my whole world. I'm telling you, girl.
That's sad that I remember that from the Brady Bunch. Everyone just go Google that. Go Google. I'll wait. Go Google Davy Jones, Brady Bunch appearance singing. And you're going to see that I sound just like him. I'm going to wait. Everyone can go Google. Stay on the stream, but just Google it. I was at a flea market the other day. 5 people are Googling. You know what? And you always know and I live in Pennsylvania, but I find New York Giants ping pong balls. That was a pretty good find. And then I also found at the flea market the Giants. Oh, wait, it's down here. Look at that. Giants eagle pin from the link. in a Pennsylvania flea market, of all places. Okay, everyone's back from Googling Davy Jones. Mr. Jackson says the long-term content is a banger if he's fit to keep it up. Okay. What was the rumor, J Sports? What was the rumor that you got from Daniel Jones? You have to go watch the video. Well, I'm going to say it here and have no one watch the video. I'm hearing, and this is from a source that I believe, and someone that's given us information that's been more than accurate. I believe he is saying that it will be average salary of no more than 32 million. Average salary. That could mean he could get 20 the first year, 32 the second, 45 the third, but the average is going to come out to that. And that's what the Giants aren't budging off of that. And there's going to be a voidable year contract. There's going to be a voidable year in year 4. And that's what I'm saying. Lamar Jackson needs to sign with CAA. Lamar Jackson's his own agent right now. J-Ham says, someone's with his mom, I think. J-Ham says, I don't think Jones is worth the money, but I can't blame him for trying. You can never blame anyone for going out and getting their money. I've said this a million times before, and I always say this to people. If you're at your job, and your review is coming up, and you're getting ready to go make your money and go everything else, and you're not going to go into your boss's office and say, listen, I had an average season, so I want less. You're going to try to get as much money as you possibly can. I don't fault the player for that at all. David says, hey, question about Levis. Before you said he reminds you of Jones. He does. Does he have the problem skating? Yes, he does. Will Levis reminds me so much of Daniel Jones. Average arm, has issues at times scanning the field. And I don't think his decision-making is that great. I even said that. And a lot of scouts say the same thing. And I said, who's that sound like? Chris says, do you think Lamar Jackson will give the Giants a slight discount to crap on the Ravens? I think the Ravens are going to tag him. The Ravens already talk about using using the exclusive franchise tag, which would bump his cap number to $45 million. I'm surprised you don't like Richardson more. It's not that I don't like Richardson. It's just he had a bad season, not a good season last year in Florida. He got outplayed by Hooker in that game against Tennessee. He is a running quarterback, which reminds you of Jones a lot. And he has the big arm. He's got some accuracy issues at times. And like I said, I just get leery about looking at quarterbacks like that who just, I don't know, there's just something about him. I got blasted because I didn't like Dwayne Haskins. It's called a racist. It's called everything else under the sun because I didn't like Dwayne Haskins the league has been filled of too many first-round picks that were one-year starters that put up huge numbers and failed in the NFL. And there's been a lot of quarterbacks that have come into the league that have just as much raw potential as Richardson does that have failed. And that just kind of makes me leery. That makes me leery, especially if you're going to take him with the 26th pick. The man from the Masculine Alpha Network says, Tim, check it out. Philly knew how to get Daniel Jones' penny. He was a one-read quarterback with no pocket awareness. They knew. They knew you just go after him. You get the giddy up on and you go after him. And he folds like a cheap tent. But don't worry, that was the offensive line's fault. David said, hey, how are you? I know you don't like Daniel Jones, but unfortunately, he is the best we have right now. But David, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what everything's been about. Just because something, if I have a choice, I've said this before, if I have a choice between being robbed or kidnapped, I'm going to find a third option. And that's what Daniel Jones is doing right now. He'll rob the Giants and be holding them hostage if they don't figure this out before March 13th. People feel like just listen with their hearts. It's true, they do. OG says, I can't believe DJ believes he deserved $45 million. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. What does Davey have to say again? Say, hey, if someone wants to give him $45 million per year for Jones, I will shake Danny's hand and wish him the best luck. So like Alcorn State. I like Acorn State better. I've always called it Acorn State. I had a friend that he went to Appalachian. And he played at Appalachian State, and I used to always tell him, I said, your alma mater is Appalapa. I used to call it Appalapa. You used to go to Appalapa State. Let's see. Davey says, how many good quarterbacks from Morehead State? Phil Simms.
The New York Giants select quarterback Phil Simms, Morehead State.
You hear the ooh, ooh. Let's see. Corey says, what about the rumors about, I don't know anything about Lamar Jackson. I don't know anyone that works in Baltimore. I wish I did. I wish I heard the rumor that Lamar is coming to the Giants. Listen, if I am giving someone $32 million, I would rather it be Derek Carr. If I had to give someone $40 million, I would rather be Lamar Jackson. If I still have to give someone 35 to 40, I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers. Mr. Harris has to say, I'm out on Levis. You were right. He looks too much. You have to watch the film. And like I said, college stats mean nothing to NFL scouts. They mean nothing. Because they can be inflated, they can be massaged, they can be manipulated. What you need to do, and I've said this a million times before, when I watch a player, I watch every play, the good plays, the bad plays, everything else, and I don't really watch the outcome. I watch how the person moves. Let's say it's a quarterback, how they move in the pocket, what their ability, are they looking downfield, how their footwork is, how are they assessing everything, are they going through their reads? Because sometimes you can go through your reads, make a wonderful play, and have the ball missed or dropped. What type of velocity do they have? What type of arm strength do they have? There's a difference between arm strength and velocity. Todd says, anyone watch Phil in college? He must have been an insane considering Walsh was thinking about taking Phil Simms in the third round. Phil Simms, I think he threw for like 1,100 yards his last season. I don't know there's not a lot of Morehead State film out there. Let's see. Zach said Davis Webb gave Galley his only target in his lone touchdown. And of course, Davis Webb, went over to the Broncos to be the quarterback's coach, which makes sense. Douglas says if Mara wants Denny 10 pennies, then he will pay him out of his pocket, pay him to clean house if he wants him so bad. Hey-ho. Orlando says, how did the Giants get in the situation? The Bears ran Mitch Trubisky out of town and they knew what they were doing. You know what the thing is? There's a lot of teams that have moved on quickly from quarterbacks, and quickly could be 2 years. The Giants just don't do that with players, or they haven't done that recently. They ran Harry Carson out of town. They traded Bradley Van Pelt. They got rid of Mark Bavaro 2 years before, he probably should have. They got rid of Joe Morris. Back in the day, the Giants would just get rid of guys that they thought were on the downslope of their career. They don't do it. Lamar, a Giant, rumors at the combine. Really? Okay. I like that. I would take that. Let's see. Marcus threw 15 touchdowns and had 2.2 yards. First 3 things, that's a reach. No, it's not really a reach. How many games did they win and how bad? And they had no talent really in Atlanta outside of Kyle Pitts on the offense. Big L says, what are we doing? What are we doing with Love? I think he's gone. We tagged Jones. Love had that career year. And people forget 2 years prior to that, Love got benched. And he kind of played up and down. He kind of had an up and down season towards the end of the season as well. I mean, at an $8 million, $9 million contract for like 2-3 years, I'd bring back Love. I like Love. I like him as a guy. I like him as a special teams player. J Card says Jones is a placeholder to get Archie Manning. Zach Attack says, I believe Daniel Jones needs to find the flying touchdown of Davy Jones' locker with all the tube socks. David Jones locker. I always laugh at that because I think it's SpongeBob. Frank says, you will not go to the Super Bowl. Jones, geez, are we that desperate? Yes. I think some fans are. That's his comp. What? All right, whatever. Mike Lee says, never blame the player for trying to get as much as you possibly can. You blame the GM for overpaying. I love me a hooker. Does that sound wrong? Well, that sounds wrong. I don't want to be right. As long as you didn't add, I love a $300 an hour hooker. That would have been wrong. So this is an adult friendly show. Mike Lee says AR also has decision making issues as well, bad decisions. That's why I meant to say learning the pass along with the touch. It was funny because Mike sent me an email today, and one of the lines was on his email that AR is learning to pass, and I told him, I said, well, learning to pass is a bad thing for a quarterback. Oh my God. Let's see here. Mitch Trubisky, Zach Wilson, Jamarcus Russell. You're right. You're right. Frank has to say here, not for nothing, Tim, but I called Pickett last year while you were on the train.
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
You did. Pickett had some moments. He did. He had some moments. But he also had some bad moments, too. Orlando says, Tim, the reports are the Giants interviewed AR and went through all of his medicals today. Routine crossing of the dots. And are there any smoke there? I've said this before. If the Giants stay with Daniel Jones, you got to trust what Dable and Shane are going to do. If the Giants go with AR, and I'm not a big fan of them, but if they go with AR, then you got to trust what they can do. And like I said, the AR rumors have been going on for the last couple months. I remember when he went to the Giant game back, I think it was October. He was at the Giant game with I forgot whom he was with, a friend, So, I mean, like I said, I think they're looking at all options. Your general manager did not go out and scout quarterbacks during the season on his own because of the fact that he didn't feel that there was something else that he may want to go after. Let's see here. Zagatag says the Ravens are expected to retain their rights via the franchise tag if they don't sign him before his coming Tuesday's deadline to use the teams on the tag. Yeah, I think they will. I think they're gonna use the exclusive franchise tag on him. They already talked about it. Earl says Daniel Jones will be the quarterback for the next 2 seasons minimum. Okay, I hope you're wrong. Logic Fine says, since you said that, Big Tim, look at Jones' last year at Duke and his 4th year in the NFL. He looks exactly the same. Average shark, 1 read, makes bad decisions, can't score in the red zone. Sounds like Will Levis. Let's see. Corey says Ian Rappaport said at the combine it was Ian Rappaport at the combine strongly saying or reporting today. Was that about the Lamar Jackson and the Giants? Davey says, I love a quarterback with a quick release. Yeah, that's helpful. Dan Marino, quickest release I've ever seen on a quarterback. Even faster than Joe Namath, and I did not see Joe Namath in his prime. Logic's, let's see here. I have to agree with you, like the 49ers are getting rid of wins out of the practice squad players, adding Mr. Irrelevant. Todd says the core of the new Super Bowl, partial Super Bowl teams all ended up playing their last games as non-Giants, exceptions Phil Simpson Taylor's. You can move on from Jones. It's okay. It's all right to do that. Frank says Lamar wants guaranteed money because he knows running quarterbacks don't last long. Yeah, that's the problem. It really is. Afghanistan, baby. Oh, yeah. What's going on, my friend? I haven't seen it. It's like old home week. I miss everybody. Lamar, let's see. OG says Jim Mara got the handprint all over this Daniel Jones signings. I think Shane is still handcuffed. You know what? It's good. It's gonna be telling. It will. Corey also says DJ needs to be to go to the Raiders or Texans. I like him when he does have a positive for the game. He sounds like ignoramus, like a limping dish rag. Okay. Let's see here. 15 touchdowns equals $45 million. I must be taking crazy pills. I know, Frank, but it's okay. What do we got here? Zach Attack says the Giants will franchise tag Saquon Barkley if they can reach a long-term deal with Daniel Jones before the deadline, according to the rap sheet. I don't know how you do that. Even at $55 million, let's say you give Daniel Jones 30. So you're at 25. You tag him at 10. You're at 15. You have 20 of your own free agents. You have your draft class. Your cap number with the rule of 51 for your draft class. Well, your cap number is your cap rookie allotment is 10.81. With the rule of 51, it's 3.5, almost 4. And then the rule of 51 goes away at the end of training camp. I just don't see it. Just don't see it. Let's see here. More Giants, please. Yes, Will is DJ. People are hoping he will be Josh Allen. Well, I don't hope he's Josh Allen. You know what's amazing? I finally caught up on the chat. I feel like my voice is going to crack and die, but I finally caught up on the chat. Sometimes you miss live streams. I think they're better when you don't do them. A lot of them. Like you do like one a month or one every like 4 months. But we are going to do one before the draft, so that'll be fun. What does Davey have to say? Davey says, Lamar Jackson type quarterback you don't want to invest in. Reason is he loses just a half a step. His stats fall down to earth. I agree with that, and I disagree with that because look at Michael Vick. Michael Vick when he came back from the dogfighting thing in Philadelphia, he used his legs mainly. Then he kind of reinvented himself, but he still had his wheels. So it really depends on how you take care of yourself and how your body is over there, and how, everyone's different. So you never know. Mike Lee says DJ needs to go to the Saints or any team with the majority of their games in the perfect weather conditions. Miami. Never any bad weather on South Beach. My hair looks good on that side too. See the other side too. Looking good. Looking good. I would thought I'd get more comments about the hair, man. The hair has been on point. What does Robert have to say? Robert said, the problem is Eagles, Cowboys are not afraid of him. Daniel Jones can't beat. I don't think the Eagles or I don't think even Washington's afraid of Daniel Jones. Look what happened that game in New York against Washington, the tie. There was no fear. Let's see here. Todd says, is there any Love contract news? I haven't heard anything. I have not heard anything at all, to be honest. Let's see here. OG says, after 5 years, DJ is what he is, point blank. That is the best way to sum it up. You're going to 5 years. You are who we are, what they thought they were. We are who they thought we thought they were. Let's see here. What do we got here? Jim, do you think the 49ers trade one of their quarterbacks? Well, the kid's got the elbow problem. So I think right now he's avoiding surgery. I think he's trying to rehab, but then if he has to go into surgery, then he's going to be out. So I don't know what they're going to do with Trey Lance. And I don't know what they're going to do with Jimmy G. And I wouldn't want either one of them, to be honest. Frankie says, what's your suggestion we do a quarterback? I say the same thing that you said. I ride the Tyrod train. I draft a hooker. And I run the offense through Saquon Barkley. Big Don dropping in the chat for the kids. Survived the storm. Listened to Big Blue Baby. I'm glad you survived the storm. I got friends in Fort Worth, so I don't know if you're around that area. So I'm curious to see if they had any what their weather was like too. Dom says, I'm surprised Shane is speaking the way he is about Daniel Jones. It really sounds like he's going to tag him if his contract can't be worked out. To me, it actually sounds like he's not going to tag him. To me, it sounds like he's going, if he can't work out a contract, he's going to kind of just see where the dice rolls, to be honest. But I don't know. No, I just want this to be over so I can do my video if they sign him and say what a huge mistake that is. And if they don't, then I can say the Giants do something. Mike Lee says, I don't think Love will get it done if they sign him until decisions. Yeah, I that's the problem, though. This whole DJ thing is holding up everything. It's holding up everything whatsoever. Zach says, I'm worried the Giants will put themselves in cap hell if Maris forced Shane's hand. I agree. I really do. Special teams outlook, they're special. Well, I'm just being facetious. You really don't know because special teams are usually your last guys on the roster. So we have to wait and see what we're even doing it because we got a lot of last guys on the roster that were starting on defense. Logic says Jones isn't a running quarterback. A running quarterback can control the offense while running. Jones is a mobile quarterback who has broken plays. There is a difference. I actually think there's a difference between a running quarterback and a scrambling quarterback. And Daniel Jones, to me, is a running quarterback, but he's a running quarterback by design. He does not have an innate feel to know when to run on his own. Davey says, Tim, you are right, but with a guy like Lamar Jackson, you don't want to buy high, hoping he's reinvent himself. Vic, the Eagles brought him to a new low. You're right. You're not wrong. But like I said, there is a possibility that you can reinvent yourself. Corey, Lamar is around 40 or even 45, but he can extend down an average of 44 or 45 long term. But DJ scares me. I don't like him, but he fits exactly in the mix with New York or the fans. But after 5 years, this is it. I agree. This is it. We see what it is. I don't need to see any more. Frank says, Tim has friends. Hey-oh. Yes. Shockingly, I have friends. Some reason people like hanging out with me. I don't know why. I've taken a lot of people to games last year. We're going to do the same thing this year. We're going to take people to games and do the coaches club and go on the field and do the flag ceremony and all that stuff. So Big L, I think he left the room. I took Big L 2 or 3 times. He went with me. And I laughed because I warned him the first time we went. I told him, I said, just so you know, I'm a puncher. He didn't understand. He's like, well, what do you mean you're a puncher? I said, I'm a puncher. So something happened, and I mean, I hit him. I hit him right in the arm. I was like, that's what I am. I'm a puncher. So I'm one of those guys. So I got lost on that because I was making myself laugh. Dom says, Tim, I hope you're right. We got Big Don dropping again. Super chat. I'm in North Fort Worth. Oh, South Fort Worth got it worse. That's where actually my friends live. Southwest. Oh, I have to call them. Hold on one second. Hold on one second here. Hold on. I gotta send a text message. Did you get any weather? Okay. All right, just had to send an email, text message real quick. Let's see. Corey says, are we gonna have our kicker, Mr. G? When he's also due to be no, he re-signed his contract last year, I believe. So Kenny, our secret weapon, the Gano-O-Matic, he's taken care of. Because you keep it real, says OG. I try to keep it real. I try. It's your charming personality. Yeah, I got a great personality. I got a great personality because it's funny because anyone that's known me for an extended period of time, my favorite phrase to you is fuck you. So it's usually my favorite phrase to people I like. I always tell people if I don't curse at you and I don't yell at you, then I don't like you. Frank said you could punch me in the face for a real pass. Well, you gotta try to come back. Listen, we had people fly in from Texas and other places to come to games with me. So you know what? Like I said, we're gonna do it again this year. Zacatech says was it just me, or once the Giants were down 14-0 in Philadelphia, did DJ look defeated and the offense looked unmotivated? Yeah, they quit. I think the Giants quit. I think the Giants offense quit. I really do. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be facetious. I do think they quit. People say, well, they run into a better team. Well, shit happens. People like to act the Giants can't find a free agent or rookie that can throw 6-yard passes, hand off to Saquon Barkley, and run by design. One of his games, he completed 14 passes behind the line of scrimmage. And that's worth $40 million. What does Davey say? Davey says it was one of the top 5 worst quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. We got to have Brad Johnson. You got to have Trent Dilfer. Right off the top of my head. Those are the ones I can think of as the top 5 worst quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer was the only quarterback to actually move on or be moved on from the year after the Super Bowl win. One thing about it. There's Big L. He goes, I'm still hearing, yeah, the abuse is real. But I'm fun to hang out with, though. Big L will tell you, I'm fun to hang out with. I'm fun to hang out with. Let's see here. Problem is Leonard Williams' contract, his number is insane. Derek Carr's stats were pedestrian with the cast he had. I'd even take a step further and say Daniel Jones outperformed him with less. I don't see that. Derek Carr had been doing it with nothing around him for years, and the dysfunction of the Raiders, even going back to the Gruden issues and the Mike Davis issues. Let's see. Here he goes. Cool. We have a kicker. Thanks. Domsey says DJ lovers will need to give him franchise quarterback money while admitting DJ is never more than only 2 wide receivers, an elite running back, a new line, a revamped defense in order to succeed. That's all he needs. That's literally all he needs. And things will be okay. Let's see here. I hate to break it to you guys. He's coming back. At least some basement Shane. Really, because I'm hearing something totally different from Shane. But that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. You want to what? Hold on. Wait a minute.
But that's okay. Remember, there are no stupid questions, just stupid people.
Sorry. I hit my camera. I just like playing with the camera. And this camera also, if you take your hand, I have that off, but if you do this, it moves. It moves with you. It's like on acid. Hey. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. What about Williams is going to get to have to make Williams? They're not going to do anything with Williams. Leonard already has that dead cap number in 2024. They're going to wait till his contract expires and gets rid of him, and they're going to go from there. What does Robert have to say? Well, it needs to develop shortstop. I know the change of subject. Go Yankees. Yeah, I'm not a Yankee fan. I'm a Met fan, and the Mets have that new kid that's like ripping it up. Let's see here. Senor, what's up, Sir Foul Ball? What's Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn? Senor Tim, great figure today, but I'm miffed that the Giants are considering 30+ million. I'm not miffed. It makes more sense, and thank you. It makes more rationale. So you know what I meant to ask, since I'm not really in control of this anymore. What do we think of the new videos? I know we're only doing one a week. We're doing a little bit of a format here going on here. What does anyone got any questions, opinions, or anything on the new videos? Oh man, I'm dying here. What do we got here? I want Jordan Addison, amazing route runner and great hands. I only know a little bit about Jordan. I would have to actually look it up, and I'm actually going to write that down and look that up. Let's see here. Do we re-sign the Scottish shotgun? No. we leave the Scottish hammer and go. Shane Falco. Flacco. You know what? But Flacco was a bad quarterback, but he had good seasons. Admiral Montumbo says, glad Kayvon caught up after the slow start. Would you take him again? If I already said I was going to take him and the linebacker if I had the choices. I wasn't going to take Evan Neal. And yeah, I would still take him again. I mean, why not? All right, we're going to finish these last questions. Mark Rippon. You know what? Mark Rippon actually had some good seasons. Was he a good quarterback? No, but I would say yes, he was definitely average. I would say he's definitely an average quarterback. 100%. There's another good one. Daniel Jones needs the 90s Cowboys to succeed. Oh my God. Let's see here. Controversial take. Doug Williams wasn't a good quarterback, only average. He claimed to fame was he was first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Well, not really, because you have to go back to his years in Tampa in '79 and what he did for that franchise, and actually how he revitalized that franchise, especially that one season with Ricky Bell. So, I mean, again, you can't look at the stats from the 70s, 80s, and 90s without having some perspective, because it was a whole different passing league there. What would happen when they extend DJ, cut Barkley, and give him a number one receiver, and he's another sport 50? Then people will be like, yeah, the Mets do need to get Alonso's deal done. They will. You got Stevie Cohen and all that money. They'll get it done. Let's see here. Davies says my top 5 worst quarterbacks start Super Bowl: Trent Dilfer, Peyton Manning, Broncos. Oh, you know what? But I think Peyton Manning, Broncos. It wasn't that he was. I think we were talking about quarterbacks that didn't do anything for their entire career. So yes, if you want to look at statistically that season, the Broncos, yes, you're right. Peyton Manning, Brad Johnson, and the Rippon. I like the new videos, maybe more than once a week. The new podcast is kind of screwing that up. The Get Off My Lawn, the Mad Ramblings of a Gen Xer is kind of screwing everything up right now. Well, let's see here. Mike Lee says it would be interesting if the Giants drafted Tennessee Time receiver and drafted Hooker. I would like to see that one. We also have here Flacco got lucky, and Antoine Bolden found the mountain of youth. Sometimes it happens. Let's see here. Sir Foul Ball of Newcomb says new intro is dope. I like the new format. Sorry to see the smooth sounds of Kenny G.
Bringing you the smooth sounds of Kenny G. 72 million. Not worth it, as you can plainly see.
We're going to miss that sound effect, aren't we? Zach Attack says, do you like doing the longer format videos, or do you like the shorter videos? I like the shorter videos. But I do like doing less videos. I don't know. Wyatt and Hooker, I could see it. I could see that too. Let's see. People forget Tampa was good pre-90s for a bit. They had a good 3-season run under John McKay. They had that good 3-season run. But then the wheels kind of fell off the bus. Let's see here. OG Knockout. What does he have to say? Peace from New Orleans. Peace from New Orleans. You're from New Orleans? OG says, what's the point of getting Daniel Jones number 1 wide receiver when all he's doing is going to check down? Good point. Logic's fine. It says, lifelong Vikings fan, but the Mets are still in a better place right now. Hal Steinberg has ruined his father's legacy. His cheapness trying to be the opposite of his dad has ruined the Yankees. I think the general manager's got a little something to do with that as well. So, I mean, but George Young was fun in the 70s. George Steinbrenner was fun in the 70s and the 80s, especially when he kept firing and hiring Billy Martin. That was awesome. There was that one press conference when he hired Billy Martin, I think for the 3rd time, and they faked a fight. And at the end of the press conference, George goes to Billy and goes, "You're fired." And Billy looks at him and goes, "You haven't hired me yet." Logic's fine. Do you really think, honestly, believe Daniel Jones can't reach 4,500 total yards with a few guys that are actually worth his weight in salt? Considering he's only 500 yards away from that number, he's not going to get 700 yards rushing next year. He's not. And then if you think about it, he was almost 800 yards away? No, because the league is a league of film. A league, you know what? And I've said this before. I was at the Bears game. I was at the Texans game. And I don't understand why it took so long for those teams to figure it out. Bears especially. Play action rollout. If the tight end's not available, Daniel Jones ran. Second half, and even second half against the Texans game, that's why there are 2 different halves. They both figured that out quickly and shut down the Giants offense and shut down Daniel Jones. And then teams are figuring out at the end of the season, you put a spy on Daniel Jones, you're going to stop him from running. So no. Let's see here. Mike Lee says, if DJ's back, I'm demand the king of the check down sound effects. Okay. It's the soundboard label. I have a soundboard sheet that has all the sound effects on them. And there's 50 buttons here. And there's another bank here, Zach. And I have a sheet that tells me what every single button is. Ask me if I know where the sheet is. No clue. But I know where He-Man is. Hold on. The lights were getting a little interference from the lights. Okay, good. Let's see here. Let's see here. He was going to bring back Billy the Kid, but he had the accident. You're missing the entire point. Oh my God, I hate stupid people. Dable has the ability to just, it's not just the ability for Dable to, the coach can teach a player, and this is coming from a former player. You can teach a player as much as you want, but if the player does not adhere to what you are teaching and does not have the ability to do it, then it doesn't matter. You're in timeout. You aggravated me. All right, guys, it's 9:02. Where's baby Saquon? Where is baby Saquon? Here's Quint. I got Quint. Oh. There's baby Saquon, Zach. There's the baby Saquon. Oh, you know what I also found the other day? I have him on my desk too. I found Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo is probably going to go up here one video. Do the market with me. Great cartoon. And then I have someone sent me this. This is always nice. The Eli Manning bobblehead from the bobblehead day. That was nice. Someone sent me that. And let's see what else we got here. Oh, and we have, of course, we have the Joker, the original Joker, Cesar Romero Joker. And as an homage to new movie, we have Baby Creed. Still have Baby Creed here too. Let's see. And then, of course, we have from Ryder Piper from They Live. And we also, of course, will always have the bobblehead of Colt 45. The coolest man alive, Billy D. Williams. All right, guys, I think we're out of here. It was a good stream. It was a fun stream. It was a long stream. It was 1 hour and 34 minutes. We found baby Saquon. We always know where baby Saquon is. Let's see here. Hey, Jeffrey. What's up, man? I'm Jeffrey. I got to get out of here, man, but I appreciate you too. I appreciate you a lot, Jeffrey. Baby Creed, there is no tomorrow. I love Baby Creed. I used to do Baby Creed to me. I've had Baby Creed forever. This is, and of course, it's the Apollo Creed action figure from like the late 90s. And I always call him Baby Creed. And that's how Baby Saquon came about when I did another podcast. And I always had Baby Creed with me. It was the Baby Creed hour. And he's actually a pretty good, likeness of Apollo Creed. So he's even got hair on his chest. Pretty weird. Let's see here. There is no tomorrow. Let's see here. All right. I think we're done, guys. I gotta get that tack glue, that tack stuff. And I am gonna put Johnny Bravo on there because there's only two people in this world that are better hair than me, Elvis and Johnny Bravo. So, but guys, you know what? We're gonna have we're gonna do a live stream again, and we will do a live stream again. Draft day. People have asked me, are we going to do the draft? Yeah, we'll do the draft. We'll definitely, that probably is going to be the next live stream. That's going to be, I guess, in April. You never know. I might throw a live stream up sooner, another time. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We're at 54 likes. We should have been at 60 likes. My heart is broken because of that. We're not even at 60 likes. We're not even at 60. But we might throw another live stream in there sooner or later. When this, Logic Finance, good live stream. Big Tim, best to you and the family. You too, Mr. Finance over in Germany. Hope everyone else has a great rest of your Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Get rid of this combine. Get ready to get into free agency with legal tampering on the 13th, or illegal tampering. I guess it's legal tampering. And I am number 54. I am number 54. Thanks, Davey. We jumped up to 57. I should hang out just till we get to 60. So I'll just hang out till we get to 60. I'll just sit here for a minute. I also have Buddy Thunderstruck. Good Netflix show. Only one season. Buddy Thunderstruck. Buddy Thunderstruck is legendary. He's got a picture next to Awesome in the dictionary. All right, guys. You know what? I'm going to head out of here. I'm going to go see what the family is doing. Hope everyone has a good, safe time. It was good to see everyone. J-Ham, it's good to that. Let's talk movies. No, I'm not talking any more movies. I'm out of here, bro. I appreciate everyone that did come in. You don't have a Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, actually, you do have a Lawrence Taylor. If you go over here, but you can't see it. I got my Phil Simms helmet. I got my Lawrence Taylor autographed helmet. I have an autographed Crunch Punch picture over there on the other side. I'll post them on Twitter. I've been posting it on Twitter a little bit lately, like all the Giant stuff that I have, all the Giants paraphernalia. I'll post that. I have the original Crunch Punch picture that's signed by Lawrence Taylor, Bradley Van Pelt, Brian Kelly, and Harry Carson. So, I'll do that. And I also have some of the old prints behind me up on the wall too. I actually have, what else is up there? Let's see here. You can go up. I also have, whoops, I can't see. Oh, no. See, the problem is I have Gale Sayers up there, Andy Robustelli. I got some other stuff over there. So, all right. Guys, we're out of here. Appreciate it, everybody. We will see everyone, and hopefully the camera just went crazy. I'm going to see everyone later. We're out here, guys. Appreciate it. And you know what? Hope we'll look out for the next video next week, and we'll see you then. All right, guys. I'm out.